What's going on, guys? It's been a while. I haven't made a video like this in a while because recently I've been sick. I know I have an awful immune system, but I don't think I've missed out on much, honestly, commentary-wise. The only thing I missed out on was the iDubbbz versus Tana drama, which I'll actually mention that in a bit because I think these situations kind of correlate in some way. But I'm sure you've heard of it. You might not care about it, really, but you've definitely heard of it if you've been on the internet at all in the past week. Not even just YouTube, but the internet in general, because PewDiePie was dragged into the mainstream media. Not that he was just being reported on like, oh, he's a higher level of celebrity or whatever. No, he was dragged into drama with the mainstream media, and they ended up doing probably more damage than they may have anticipated. Basically, news sites like the Wall Street Journal would put out articles saying, oh, PewDiePie is a Nazi? PewDiePie's a racist? What? Click here to find out how your favorite YouTuber is a racist. You click on the article. You click past the 30 different ads that pop up to get to the actual page, and then you realize that they were just referring to a joke he made in a video. A slightly edgy joke, you know, a little bit KYS, haha, you know, it was a joke. I shouldn't even have to say anything more than it was a joke, because that's what it was. But it's even worse that it wasn't even just a straight up edgy joke that he just threw out there. It was seeing how far people would go for $5, paying these guys to put something racist on a sign and dance around. That was the joke. Like paying someone else to see if they'll drop all their morals and do something stupid for $5. And in the same video, he disapproved of his own joke. He's like, oh, I'm not proud of this.
I am sorry. I didn't think they would actually do it. I feel partially responsible, but I didn't think they would actually do it. I don't feel good. I don't feel too proud of this. I'm not gonna lie.
That should have been the end of it right there. There shouldn't have been any controversy over this, basically. There were people making a lot worse jokes on YouTube and reaching the same amount of people. Trust me. But we can argue about if jokes are offensive or not all day, because at the end of the day, it's just an opinion. What I really want to dig into is why he was actually dropped from his network, and I also want to address JackSepticEye's response video.
Disney being who they are and the type of branding that they have and the sort of family-friendly image that they have, I think it makes perfect sense for them to cut ties with Felix.
You know what? I actually agree with you. I thought the same thing when I heard this. I was like, okay, Disney as a very child-friendly company, it makes total sense that they would cut ties with PewDiePie for making offensive jokes, you know? Wait, what? What was... iDubbbz is under Maker Studio? No. Is this a social experiment? Am I actually a part of a psychological case study right now? Because something isn't adding up here. This makes no sense. You cannot tell me that this company dropped this man because of a single joke while simultaneously being networked with one of the most comedically offensive people on this website. What's really funny about this is that there was way more controversial drama that happened only a month ago about iDubbbz oversaturating the N-word on his channel. Maker didn't blink an eye. Disney didn't bat an eye. And if the only defense for Maker is that it wasn't as big as a problem, so we didn't hear about it or we didn't pay attention to it, then all that's saying is that you're really out of touch with your own partners. And if you don't follow what's going on with one of your most well-known partners, what makes you think other people want to join your network if you're not paying attention to a partner with 4 million subscribers? But I don't think that's what happened. I don't think that you simply weren't paying attention. If I thought that, I probably wouldn't be making this video, because it would just be that simple. You weren't paying attention, and when it gets brought up, you make your own decision to drop Felix's channel because you are against offensive jokes. But I don't think you care. I don't think you cared about the iDubbbz drama, and I don't think you cared about the PewDiePie drama either. The only reason you dropped him was because you saw backlash from the news. Not even viewers of PewDiePie, not people within the YouTube community, not your consumers, definitely not the people you're making money from, but people outside of YouTube, the mainstream media, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, whatever. People that are irrelevant to the YouTube world, or at least should be. But now they have so much of an impact that they can sever ties that you have with sponsors, networks, and YouTube itself. Because not only was PewDiePie dropped from Maker, he was removed from YouTube Preferred and had his YouTube Red series, a paid program, canceled. His show got canceled because people were triggered. Not offended. people weren't offended at these dumb edgy jokes, they were actually triggered. They were voluntarily being outraged on other people's behalves. Tana Mojo is a great example of this, going back to this topic. She sees an opportunity to call someone out, making her look good. She acts like she's offended by iDubbbz saying the N-word, to try to make herself look like she's against racism. Until you realize iDubbbz isn't actually a racist, he's just really edgy. And you realize Tana isn't actually offended by the N-word, or else she wouldn't be saying it in an actual racist context like she has before. She's being outraged on other people's behalf because it makes her look good. Because she wants to cover up her own past, or so she thought, because the only reason why people know about her saying racist stuff is because people drug it out after she was accusing iDubbbz of doing the same thing. So it kind of backfired. But it's the same thing with the mainstream media. You try to expose someone without context, and then you think people don't know what you're doing. YouTube is a huge platform for edgy jokes. You're never going to stop that. Ever since Filthy Frank started growing, it's became a huge thing on YouTube because people think it's funny. You can't control what people think is funny, and that's the problem with being outraged at comedy, because you can't control what people laugh at. You can't say, hey, you're not allowed to think this is funny. And it's usually not even the fact that we're laughing with offensive people. When someone makes a racist joke, they're not laughing with the racist, they're laughing at the racists. And the only person I've heard explain this really well is Bunty King.
Saying death to any specific ethnicity in its entirety is fucking ridiculous. So when we make jokes like that are like, death to all Jews, ha ha ha, how fucking dumb is that? That's what we're saying. Ha ha ha, how fucking dumb is that?
We know people just want to look like heroes. They're out there with megaphones saying, hey everyone, look at us, we're accepting, we're politically correct, while at the same time attacking people and dragging them down to the ground and trying to ruin their career. And the bad thing is, it's not even people that actually deserve it. You know who does deserve that attention from mainstream media? Actual racists. Not people that make Nazi jokes or people that say the N-word because it makes them giggle on YouTube. But the mainstream media won't find actual racists as popular as PewDiePie, so why not just make him look racist? That'll bring in the money, that'll bring in the clicks. What will be the perfect title? Labeling this person that's more relevant than our whole company, that'll make people click. Full stop, because that's all that matters. And oh yeah, don't forget to click on one of the 20 ads that we have on each article. We have to stay afloat somehow, if it's not writing on other people that are actually relevant. But also, how can we paint this perfect picture where this person looks like an awful human being and makes us look like heroes? I don't know how you thought this wouldn't backfire on you, to be honest. I mean, he only has 53 million subscribers, no biggie, right? But I want to get off this topic of mainstream media. To sum it up, I don't think his network actually chose to drop him. I think they were pressured into it because people are greedy and they'll throw some guy's name into the dirt and slander him just for money. And I would be scared of this reactionary decision if I were Maker, because of Revel Mode, a group within Maker that PewDiePie is the leader of. All of those people that are in that group are potentially leaving right now. Do you know how much money and PR that is? It's not looking good for you, that's all I'm saying. If you're not going to stand up for your top partner, obviously you're not going to stand up for any of these other people. Speaking of standing up for people, let's talk about JackSepticEye's response video. Jack made a response video where he says he doesn't agree with PewDiePie's jokes, which was a little weird because this was all right after he sent out a tweet defending PewDiePie, which I think he deleted because he mentioned it and I can't find it. You've been friends with this guy for a while, and he's been making sensitive jokes for just as long, so I personally think that you're not actually against offensive comedy. In fact, one of the first things that pop up when I search JackSepticEye offensive on YouTube is this video that I skimmed through, and oh no, JackSepticEye made a Hitler joke on a PewDiePie video. Better write a juicy article about this one, boys. JackSepticEye supports Hitler? 15 ways Nazis are trying to take over YouTube.
Nice article, dude. Nice article. Oh wait, shit article.
But before I go any further, actually, as I'm making this, he put out a tweet saying he really regrets making that response video, and I believe him. I'm glad he says he regrets it, and by the time this video goes up, he might actually take down the video. But I just want him to know, to actually realize, when he uploaded that video, he let the mainstream media win. The moment you caved in and made that video, you let all the butthurt SJWs win, and you were successfully silenced all because you wanted to support your friend and people wouldn't allow it. But that's not completely your fault, because you were pressured into a position where you had to conform to the popular opinion to avoid being attacked or being dropped from Maker 2. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I know there are people that actually disagree with me on this, but that's okay because people can have different opinions and have a conversation about it and not be toxic towards each other. But I'll try to get some more comedic, funny, haha videos out soon, because there was a lot of drama that I just went over and I don't want my channel to just be drama. But anyway, I'll see you guys later.